Welcome everyone to this beautiful channel named Geeks for Geek School. So in this lecture we are going to talk about the sliders. So this slider facility you can easily find over here in the design toolbox of this Applab environment. Right, in today's lecture we will see how can we define the code for this slider, and it's basically totally based on these sliders. If you do not know how to use these sliders on your app, so please do watch this lecture till the end without skipping any part. Okay, now before diving into this platform and introducing you guys with the concept to the concept of the slider, I would like to welcome all the students also who have joined in this tutorial through my channel named Gaurav Kumar Jain. Thank you very much for joining me at this time, and I hope you will definitely enjoy this lecture a lot. Okay, so let's come on this first screen. So here, if the user want to get himself redirected on this color screen, so he can put colors in these two fields and he can hit this login button. Automatically he will go on this color screen. In case if he puts family in these two input fields over here, he was going to get redirected on this family screen. And in case if he inputs main in these two input boxes, so he will get redirected on the main screen. That's how I will code this first screen. Now how can we do that? So we need this uneven block. I'm placing it over here. The ID of this button is login, so we need to write down login over here. Okay, and then with the help of this if loop we can get the required result. So if we need to first get the input of the user, right? So whatever he will enter here, we can get it like this with the help of this get text property, and we have to now match it with, first we are going to define the conditions for this color screen. So if the user will enter colors in both the fields means this email field and in this password field, so I would like to redirect him to the colors screen. How can we do that? So it's all my imagination, which you are seeing right now, as I've told you in the previous lectures also, and I will keep telling you in whatever lectures I will take now. Visualization is a very important thing. Until and unless you will visualize your app, you will make pictures of what you actually want to make in your mind, in your head, you will not be able to plan the things properly. If you really want your plans to become successful, you have to visualize them first. You have to create images of those things first, right? What all things can you add to your app? What all things can you add to your games for making it look more appealing, more interesting to the user? Okay, so set screen, and here we can put colors, right? And in order to make it more interactive, let's add a speech to this if loop. So as soon as the user will come on the colors panel, he will hear this thing, hi, or welcome to the colors panel, please add the colors. Okay, so he will be asked to add the required colors, right, to the main panel. Now you just have to copy this and put it over here, and in place of this colors we are now going to have family. So if the user will enter family in email and the password field, I would like the user to get redirected to the family screen where he can input the font family for the text which the user of the writing pad will be writing for the text which the user will be writing down over here on this writing pad, right? So we can do we have to make some changes over here in this speech. Please add the font family. Okay, I'm done with defining the code for redirecting the user to this family screen. Now we can copy this entire thing and put it over here. Okay, if the get text email is equals to main, then what should happen? So I'm writing down everything in small so that I don't forget when I will key in these things during the testing time. I don't want to make any mistake. That is the reason I'm putting everything in small over here. So I would like the user to get redirected on this main screen. That's how we can do it. Simply we can write main over here and welcome to the main panel. So that's what he is going to hear. Fine. Now so we are done with defining the code for all the components present on this screen. Now let's come on this first screen. Now let's come on this second screen, which is colors. How I have designed this screen and what all components are present on this screen. That's what I would like to help you guys with first. So you need to come on Google for finding out that image which I just showed you on that color screen. So here you can simply type color plate in boy's hand. Fine, and you can add one more word with it, which is clip art. It is going to give you some cartoon kind of images, some clip arts. Okay, so these are a couple of images you're going to come across, but I'm not able to see the that image which I am using in my app. I think I will have to add some more words over here. So color plate boy painting with color plate in hand clip art. Let's check it out with this. I think this is also a very good image you can make use of for your app. Then this is again a very good image, right? How about if I'll add this cartoon clip art over here? Okay, so it has given us some more good result. Yes, so you can make use of this image if you want. Then we have this beautiful image which you can make use of for your that app, right? So that's how you can get the required image on Google Images. Now once you're done with importing the image over here on this Applab using the image button, what you have to do over here on this color plate, you have to put some label boxes. See, I have placed some label boxes. Why you're not able to see them? Just because the background color of these label boxes is transparent, right? That is the reason you're not able to see them. Border width is 0, border radius is also 0, right? So simply I've used it over here just to make these parts of this image act as a button. Okay, now when the user will hit this first label box, the ID of which is green, what will happen? That's what I would like to define the code for now. So I would like a table to get created on the data browser connected to this app. The ID of this label is green, so let me put green over here. So in this table, so create record, and let's make it color. So a table with name colors will get created on the data browser connected to this app, and the color that will get added to this colors name table will be green, right? Similarly, if he hits this yellow named label box, I would like this colors table to get created, in which this yellow should get saved. Same thing I would like to do with this blue named label box also, right? And then we can copy this entire thing, and then we can use the same for this red named label box, right? Now once the user is done with adding all the required colors, what he can do, I would like whoever is using the main panel, he should see the selected color, the color which the as a screen is. If you want to get the output, if you want to make which all the names are going to get saved as this colors, we can put colors over here, removing everything whatever is there inside this if loop. Okay, so we do not have to make any changes over here. Why? Because create is the name of the is a type of the event which is taking place over here. So it is going to be, we don't have to make any changes over here. Now we can simply make use of this read records block for pulling the required things. So from this colors named table, I would like to pull the required information, and because there can be more than one color present in this colors named table, so for pulling all the colors the other user has selected, we need to make use of a list type of variable, and simply we can append all the items, all the names of all the colors to this list type of variables using this simple code records I dot, what is the ID of the column in which the colors are getting saved? So it is color, right? And once we are done with getting all the colors, how can we get them reflected over here in this drop down? We are using the set property option. We can easily do it. We have done this so many times. I know every one of you know this code very well. If there is anyone who is new on this platform or to this Applab, please do let me know. I'll help you with the lecture in which I've explained you this list type of variable. It's very important, and we use it generally in all the language platforms, all the coding platforms. So list variables are used to, if you want to store more than one items at the same location, so we use list type of variable. Fine. So now if you want the user who is using this writing pad should see all the colors selected by some other user who has added the colors to this colors named table, then we can just put this list over here. So now all the colors which have got added to this list type of variable will be showed as options in this drop down to the person who is using this main screen. Okay, so now what? So we are done with defining the code for this colors named screen. Now we need to come on this family screen. Suppose you want to give the options to the user who is using the main panel for selecting one of these font families for the text he is going to see here in this writing pad. So you can simply make use of this family screen. That's why we have defined this family screen. So one person will be accessing the color screen who will be adding the colors to the main panel in this drop down. the other person will be is required to add the font families. Right, how I have designed this screen, let me just show it to you. So you can come here on Google and just type font family screen clip art. So you are going to get redirected to this web page where you'll see some some pictures like this. Fine, suppose you want to make use of this picture, yes, you can make use of this one also. But how you will get this list kind of thing which is getting reflected over here? So you can simply come on this designing part of this Applab. Now select one of these options and come down, and here in this I think where is that font family? I'm not able to see that. Just a second. Yes, here in this font family option, when you'll click this drop down, so you will be able to see the entire list. Now what I have done, I have taken the screenshot of this drop down, then I removed this part from that screenshot and I pasted it over some image like this, right? The image which you're seeing in the background, for this I've used some other image button, and then I have placed some components on this image. Fine, so this is the image which you're seeing in the background. I have got it from this google.com images section, and then I imported that image in the paint software, on which I pasted this part of the screenshot. That's how I have created this beautiful font family image. And now on here on this part I've placed some label boxes purposely so that I can make them act like a button, the way I just did for the way I just told you why I have defined some label boxes on this paint plate which this boy is holding in his hand, right? Okay, let's come on this family screen. Now we have, how many labels are there? So we have 1 2 3 4, okay, 4 labels I've defined over here. If you want, you can define more for these options, right? Just a second, let me check one more thing. Yeah, so what we have to do now, we can simply copy this entire code which we have defined for this green named label box, and we can come down and paste it over here. Now the idea of this first label box is Arial. So if the user will click on this Arial, what should happen? A table with name font should get created automatically, and here inside this I would like a field to get created with name family. And where can we get the font family from? So it is Arial that we have to mention over here, right? Likewise we can do the same thing for this Georgia. So I'm using the same concept I've used for the colors panel, right? There is I don't think that there is anything which is confusing you. Everything is simple and it should be clear to every one of you. Even if you have any doubt regarding to related to anything, please do let me know in the comment section. You can put your query. Once I'm done with telling you everything related to this app, coding and designing part, I will check the comments box and respond to your queries in case I will found any over there. Fine. So I'm done with defining the code for all the 4 fonts for which I've defined the label boxes over here. Now the way I've defined this on record event block for fetching the colors, the user will select over here in this drop down 2 of the main panel. In the same way, I would like to define this on record event for adding the font family to this drop down one of this main panel. It's very simple. We just have to copy this and put it over here, replacing all the colors with font. So here the list type of variable, I'm changing it to list2, and here also it should be list2. Now here the name of the column we have to change from color to family, and here it should be list2, and here the drop down's name is 1. So it is drop down 1. Now we'll be able to get all the font families reflecting over here in this drop down 1, whatever the other user is going to select for the person who is using the main panel. Okay, now let's talk about this main panel. How can we define the code for the components present on this main panel? What all things we have to do for the components which are present on this main panel? So that's what we are going to talk about now. Fine. So the first thing I would like to do is the idea of this component is writing pad. The idea of this one is message box. So if the person who is using this main panel will write something over here, I would like to see that instantly getting reflected in this writing pad. Now how can we code this thing? So the idea of this component is message box. Now if you want to see something instantly getting reflected over here, whatever the user will write over here in this message box, so the option you can make use of is input. Remember this thing. So now let me just make this the default screen to show you the output you will get with the help of the code which we just defined over here. I think I haven't defined anything inside this on event block. That is the reason I was getting an error. So I need to define this set property and make the text which the user will write over here in this message box equal to the writing pad's text. And where can I get the input from? I can get it very easily from the message box, right? Let's now check out what is the output we will get with the help of the code I've just defined. It's again showing me some error. Why is it so? Which does not exist. Message box does not exist. Okay, there is some spelling mistake over here. On event ID parameter refers to an ID message box which does not exist. Why is it not able to read this message box? Let me check the spelling of this message box. So okay, so B is in capital over here, maybe because of that. Yes, that's the reason it is not able to identify this message box. Now I think we'll be able to run the code. Yes, now if I will write my own name over here, instantly I'll see it getting reflected in this writing pad. So that's what is the magic you can get from this input named option, right? Okay, let me now just copy this entire thing and put it over here. Now if suppose the user want to if the user want to change the color of the text, so he can select the text color from this drop down, and instantly I want to see this text color should change to whatever color the user will select from this drop down. So for doing that we can what is the idea of this drop down? It is drop down to. So drop down to, we have to mention over here, and as soon as the user will input the color, what should happen? I would like to set the background color. Okay, just a second, let me change it to block based coding. Let me see if I have the option of changing the foreground color or not. Okay, so border radius, border width, Fine. For this writing pad, okay, we are trying to change the color of this writing pad. So, the background color will get affected, not the text color. So we can make use of this background color property. Now, whatever color the user will select from here, automatically the background of this writing pad will change to that color. Okay. So writing pad background color will go equal to the color which the user will select from this drop down, the ID of which is drop down 2. Just give me a short moment, I'm getting a call on my number. Hello, बेटा क्लास ले रहा हूँ मैं, बाद में बात करता हूँ. Okay, so here we can mention drop down 2, right? Yes. So this will give us a correct output. Now the same thing we can define for this drop down 1 as well. Just change this one to drop down 1 and show blocks. So now if you want to select the font family of the text from this drop down 1, you just have to select font family from this second drop down, and then you can change this third thing to get text. So you can get the text from this drop down 1, right? Okay, so we are good to go with the code. Now we have to define the code for these three components. We are done with defining the code for this message box and these two drop downs. We are left with now 4 sliders. So let's define the code for the first slider. I'm copying this code from here and I am putting it over here. The ID of this component is red slider. What should happen if the user will move this red slider in the left or the right side? So I would like to set the property of this writing pad. Okay, now what can we do with the help of this? That's what we have to think. So I would like to control the background color red component. There are always 3 components which combine and create for us different kind of colors. One is the red component, then green component, then blue component, RGB. Okay, so with the help of this red slider, I would like to control the red component. And how can we control the red component? We can simply put RGB. So this RGB block you can find over here. Fine, just drop it over here like this. Sorry, I need to cut it. I need to paste it over here, right? And then the first one over here is for red, then green, then blue, then alpha. I don't want this 4th component, so I'm removing it from here. I need to place this round bracket. So for this thing I can get the value from the red slider, right? And for the remaining things, from where can I get the where can I get the values of these 2 things? I can get it easily from these sliders, green slider and the blue slider. Just change this to green slider and this one to the blue slider. Fine. Okay, so I'm done with defining the required code for the red slider. What is happening? Why I'm getting this error? Let me just check it out. So writing pad background color, I don't require this round bracket. Then here RGB get number. So red's value we are going to get from the red slider. Green's value we are going to get from this green slider, and blue's value we are going to get from the blue slider. I need to put this round bracket, and here also round bracket needs to be there. Then here also round bracket has to come, and here also round bracket has to come. again we are getting this error. Why is it so? Okay, I have to place one round bracket here. Now it is perfectly fine. Let's copy this entire thing, and we are going to use the same code for defining the required code for this green slider. Done with defining the code for this green slider, you just have to change this red slider with green slider, and similarly for this blue slider you have to replace this green with blue. Right, so we are done with defining the code for all these sliders over here. Now we have to define the code for this font size. If the user will shift this slider towards the right side, I want the font of this text, whatever is going to get reflected in this writing part, should increase instantly. Right, so and if he shifts this slider towards the left side, the font size should decrease instantly, and it should be visible to the user. The changes should be visible to the user in real time. The idea of this component is font size. Right, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to control the font size. Right, so we need to replace this background color with font size. Let's convert it back into text-based coding. So here we can replace this entire thing with get number. So we can get the number from this font size slider. Okay, so I think we are done with defining the whole code. Now let's test the app, whether it is going to give us the desired output or not. So this is the link. I am going to test it on 3 different browsers. So on this first screen I will be accessing the colors panel. On this second screen I will be accessing the font families panel, and on this third screen I am going to access the main screen. Okay, and okay, so we so you have to assume as if this is the first device, this is the second device, and this is the fourth device. Let's see whether I'll be able to add the font families. Okay, I need to change the main screen. The user should get redirected on the screen 1, right, when he will first access the app. So need to come on this designing panel. I have successfully changed the default screen. Now I think I will get the required output once I'm done with refreshing all the 3 browsers. So now this app will redirect the user on screen 1, where he can put the login credentials and get redirected to whatever screen he want to. So suppose the user want to get redirected to the colors panel, he can write down colors in both these input boxes and hit this login button.
Welcome to the colors panel. Please add the colors.
Family.
Welcome to the family panel. Please add the font family.
Okay.
Welcome to the main panel.
So now at present, in this drop down nothing is getting reflected. Let's start adding the colors. So the first color I would like to add is this green. Okay, so I'm able to see the colors over here, I think, in this drop down. Let's see what all colors are there in this drop down now. Okay, so all the 4 colors, yellow, green, blue, red, are getting reflected, and we were able to update them in real time on this main panel with the help of this colors panel, which we are accessing on a completely different device. Now let's update this first drop down, which is for font family: Arial, Georgia, Palatino, Times New Roman. Let's see what all options are available to us over here in this first drop down. So we need to hit this drop down, and we have successfully added all the 4 font families. Right, now we are going to check this writing pad, whether it will give us the correct output or not. So let me check whether everything is going fine or not. Okay, so OBS Studio reconnecting successful. Great, I'm live again, I think. Okay, so if I'll now shift the slider towards what happened, just give me a short moment, I need to check something over here. Yes, if I'll move this slider towards the right side, okay, I am not able to see anything happening to this background color. So I think I will have to check the code I've defined for these sliders one more time. No problem, I'll do that. Let's see whether I'll be able to change the font size of this text. Yes, I'm able to see the font size is changing. I'm able to change the font size with the help of this slider. Right. Okay, so the only thing which is not working is the code we have defined for these sliders. Let me just close all the windows and check the code I've defined for the three sliders. So coming back on this main screen, the first one is this red slider. So this is the code I've defined for the red slider. What should happen? The background color, okay, RGB, get number. Okay, so this is the issue. We do not have to use separate RGBs. We have to put it like this. That is the reason why we guys were not getting the correct output. Now we will, with the help of this code, get the correct output. Fine, and blue slider. Okay, and we will have to close this bracket also. So RGB get number, so this red value for this RGB is going to picked up, we'll get it like this. Yeah, now the code is perfectly fine. Let me quickly copy this, and I'm removing these two things, putting the copied code over here, replacing this one with blue slider and this one with green slider. Okay, and I am making this as a default screen for checking whether these sliders are going to give me the correct output or not. Let's run this code, and now if I'll shift it towards the right, see, I'm able to see something happening to the color. So the red component is changing. Similarly, if you'll move this towards the right side, left side or right side, you will be able to see the changes getting reflected over here. And same thing is going to happen if you'll move this blue slider towards left or right. So we are done with defining the required code for this app. Let me just check if you have any queries. So I am checking the comment section right now. If you have any queries, please go ahead and let me know about the same. You can put your queries in the comment section. I'm checking it right away. And by the time I'm checking the code, let me just show you the so this is the entire code. Fine. I think due to some network issue, I'm not able to read your comments. No problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lecture a lot. In case you come across any issue while coding or designing this app on your own, do let me know in the comment section. Definitely whenever I'll get the time to reply to your comments, I will do the needful. My OBS has stopped working, I think. I will have to wait for it to respond.